The Akashic Tarot is not just another tarot deck dressed in mystical language. It is an attempt to bridge two vast traditions, the symbolic system of tarot and the metaphysical idea of the Akashic records, often described as a subtle, universal archive of every thought, action, and soul experience across time. The deck was created by Sharon Ann Klingler and Sandra Ann Taylor, both well known in modern spiritual circles for their work in intuition, energy healing, and higher consciousness teachings. And it was published by Hay House, a platform that has long specialized in bringing esoteric ideas into accessible formats for contemporary audiences. Unlike traditional tarot systems such as Rider-Waite, which follow a fixed symbolic lineage rooted in European occult traditions, the Akashic Tarot takes a more fluid, intuitive, and narrative-driven approach, blending historical imagery, past life themes, and energetic archetypes that are meant to connect the reader not just to psychological insight, but to what is often described as the soul's timeline itself. At its core, the deck is structured with 62 cards, which already signals that it does not strictly follow the classic 78-card tarot format. Instead, it reorganizes the system into categories like major arcana equivalents, people cards, and situation cards, each designed to represent energies, influences, or karmic patterns rather than rigid suits like cups, swords, or pentacles. The imagery is one of its most striking aspects, rich, painterly scenes that feel almost like glimpses into different lifetimes, ancient temples, forgotten civilizations, or symbolic inner worlds, often populated by figures that seem less like characters and more like energetic presences guiding or reflecting the seeker's journey. There is a deliberate emphasis on past life connections, karmic contracts, soul agreements, and energetic imprints, which aligns the deck more with Akashic reading practices than with predictive fortune-telling. In other words, it leans toward why this is happening in your soul's journey, rather than what will happen next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Philosophically, the deck assumes that human life is not a linear accident, but part of a layered, multidimensional continuum, where choices, relationships, and even recurring struggles may have roots beyond the present lifetime, and the cards act as symbolic keys to access those deeper layers. A reading with this deck is therefore often described as less about external events and more about awakening awareness, identifying hidden patterns, releasing energetic blocks, and understanding one's spiritual trajectory. The guidebook that accompanies the deck plays a significant role. It is not a thin booklet of keywords, but a detailed interpretive manual that offers narratives, energetic meanings, and suggested intuitive expansions, almost training the reader to move beyond rote memorization into a more fluid, channel-like interaction with the cards. Practically speaking, the Akashic Tarot is often favored by readers who already work with modalities like meditation, energy healing, past life regression, or intuitive channeling, because it demands a certain openness to symbolic thinking and inner listening. A strictly logical or textbook tarot reader may find it too abstract, while an intuitive practitioner may find it liberating. It is also frequently used in spiritual coaching sessions, healing work, or self-reflection practices, where the goal is not prediction, but transformation. There is, however, a subtle caution that must be understood. Because the deck operates in the language of higher realms and unseen records, it can easily encourage projection or overinterpretation if the reader is not grounded, making discernment and psychological clarity just as important as intuition. In essence, the Akashic Tarot sits at an intersection, part tarot, part spiritual philosophy, part guided introspection tool. It does not merely ask, "What is your future?" but rather whispers a more demanding question. What is your soul remembering, and what is it trying to resolve through you right now? And that question, if taken seriously, is not light entertainment. It is work, it is excavation, and occasionally, it is revelation.